Hey guys, alright, so today I'm going to do kind of like a step, kind of like a walkthrough of using the Quick Blue, extra strength, kind of like, you know, bleach, just trying to lighten my hair. I also have the Wella T18, so this will be the first time that I'm using the Wella T18. I've used the T28 before and it worked really good. This T18 is a little bit more of an ash. So I'm hoping if there's any gold tones left that this is going to pull them out a little bit more, along with the Wella 20 volume developer. Also, a huge thing that I've learned, and I don't know how I have not known for all these years, it wasn't until I moved and I started going to a new salon that they explained to me like the purple shampoo. I mean, this is one that you can just get from Sally's or Walmart. They told me to use this, and I always think back to like my grandmother way many years ago, and I'm like, what is this gonna do? My hair is not great. Anyway, so I used this, and it has been amazing, just simply amazing. So this will pull a lot of the gold tints that you have in your hair out. You can actually put this on while it's dry, lather your hair, leave it on for a few minutes. You know, I do like that it leaves that lilac to a very light lavender, almost a gray in my hair. I mean, that's kind of the style that's going on now. So, you know, definitely you can use this a few times a week or whenever you just get in the shower, leave for just a few minutes and then wash it out, of course. So, like I said, today I'm going to be using the Quick Blue, and this is the first time using this. Little bit of backstory on my hair. My hair is naturally very dark. I mean, it's not black, it's just a darker brown, and I love that it's, you know, I love keeping it blonde. I prefer to have it blonde, it just looks better. And over the years, I feel like I've done a ton of like the highlighting kits, and it would always take very well to my hair, never had an issue. Over the past few years, I feel like when I've tried to do it myself, I definitely had more of that golden, bronzy kind of color, and not a fan. I like the white, I like just the bright blonde, don't want any of those brassy tones in it at all. So, and I think the reason that it's happening the older that I get, and I'm not going to mention my age, I feel like it's a little bit harder to pull that color out, to get it to that blonde tone. So I'm definitely gonna try something new. I mean, I definitely looked up reviews, I spoke to the people at the store. So, you know, today I got the cap. So we're gonna try to do the cap. Normally, like I said, I normally go to the salon and, you know, $200, and she does an amazing job, don't get me wrong, but it's not even a week later, I'm having to redo the toner to my hair. It's kind of fading out, having to constantly use the purple shampoo. So hopefully today with this, we're gonna get some good results and spend a fraction of the cost, okay? So here's a quick view of what we're working with. So like you can see, I mean, it's a little bit darker right here. Definitely goes down to the blonde, like the blonde color, and then you see just inches and inches of roots. And this is, you know, we're in August. I haven't had my hair done since March. So this is the result of not having time, you know, just trying to cut back on expenses. So this is what we're kind of left with, and it's, you know, ending the end of the summer now. But like I said, I like to keep it blonde, so definitely do it year round. So we're gonna try this out. All right, so with the cap process, I think most importantly is just making sure that you have dry, kind of unclean hair. I haven't washed it in about 2 days. But I think most importantly, you know, style your hair like you normally do. My hair is kind of funky, you know, my hairline's way over, and that's just how it's always been, but style like you normally do, and just make sure that you're getting all the tangles out, you know, so it's easier for you to pull through the cap. You definitely don't want all those tangles. That becomes a problem as you're going, you know, and then at that point you start pulling hair out from other holes, and then it just kind of becomes a mess. You may have more splotchies, so just make sure that you're brushing it out really good, you know. All right, so this is the cap process. Just make sure it's pretty snug on your head, and you're kind of gonna bring it back a little bit so you don't have those hairs coming, but it's still in its natural position. And just kind of pull down and pull as tight as you can, because you want the hair to come directly, you know, from the roots. You want to get as close as you can so you still don't have those dark hairs at the root. So it's going to be pretty tight, but you know, that's kind of what you want. I know it looks super funny, but, and it came with this little hook right here. I actually prefer the little metal ones, but because this is, you know, the first time that I've pulled it through a cap in years now, it's gonna work. It'll be fine. So we're gonna get started, okay? All right, so now I have my hair pulled through the cap. So let me just explain by saying this. You can definitely pull every hole through. I mean, there's the ones that have the circles right here, and then there's actually ones beside it that you can't really see. And that would give you more of an all-over highlight compared to if you just do the circles, which would be a little bit more subtle. Like I said, I love my hair blonde, so I try to get as much as I can. And then also, you know, you can actually go back through the holes and you can kind of mess with it a little bit and see how much you want to pull through. There's some of these where it's a little bit thinner, a little bit more in the front. You're not going to get too much out of there. But some of these other ones, like I said, you can go back through and pull a little bit more through, just depending on how you want it to look. So, show you the back here. So we did it all the way back, sides, every hole. And let me just recommend, if you are by yourself doing this, grab a mirror. It's a little bit difficult. Like I said, I kind of start with what I can see, and then I kind of go back through. But I think now we have phones, so turn your camera on, go into the mirror, try to do it like that, or wait till you have somebody. You know, definitely would help make it a little bit quicker. Shout out to my husband, who's helped me many times before, and I've about lost my mind on him because he's going so slow because he's afraid that he's going to hurt me, which I appreciate. But I'm like, come on, let's go. So I can get it done a little bit quicker myself, even having to have a mirror, or like I said, grabbing my camera on my phone and just kind of going back there to see. So if you have somebody with you, that's a little bit easier, make it easier on yourself, but they may be afraid to go in, you know, they may be afraid to poke you or, you know, hit your scalp. So always just consider that. So now I am going to grab, I have my bowl, I have my handy dandy little brush here. I'm going to start by just mixing one of the Quick Blue. I'm not really sure how much it's going to make, but I did grab another pack just. Alright, so I think what I've decided is I'm going to use 30 volume developer. I definitely want to get as much lift as I can out of it. So I'm going to keep the 20 for my toner, and I'm going to do the 30 right here with the Quick Blue. And so for this, it says off scalp applications only, off scalp, see. I'm going to do one packet and then mix, and it has the option of 20, 30, or 40 volume developer. Like I said, I'm going to do the 30, and then it says mix 1.5 fluid ounces to 2 fluid ounces per container. So let me go ahead and measure this out and get it mixing, and I will show you what we're looking like. Alright, so this is what we're looking like for our color. It's a light blue. I kind of want to keep it away from my face. You never want to inhale stuff. So far it doesn't have a bad smell at all, which is fantastic because I don't have a window that I can open here. I have a window, but it's for the tub, so you definitely want to mix this up pretty good. You don't want to let it sit too long. So what I'm going to do next is actually I'm going to take my hair that's underneath that we did not pull through and kind of wrap that back. You can cover it with a towel, cover yourself with a towel if you you know, don't want to mess your clothes up. Fortunately, this is a bad shirt, I would say, good for doing hair color. This is what I cooked bacon in. I got grease stains all over it, and so I definitely don't mind that this gets dirty. So let me tie what I'm gonna do up, and then I'm gonna take the rest of this. I'm gonna pull it to the back, and like I said, if I get a little hair tie, pull it back, keep it out of the way. You know, fortunately for me, my hair is already really blonde at the ends, so if it falls on the hair that I'm not doing, it's really not gonna harm it in any way, but do that, keep it out of the way. Alright, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the front of my hair first, and the reason being, I know sometimes when you go to the salon and they start from the back and they work their way forward. My goal today is to have no gold, no brassiness, no orange, any of that. So I kind of want to get my hair as blonde as I can. So I'm going to start right here at the front, just so it can stay on a little bit longer and start to develop. You know, and at that point we'll be able to see what kind of change we're getting by putting it right here first. Oh, disclaimer. I am not a professional at all. I mean, the only reason that I'm doing this is just, you know, I think I've learned over the years and gained a little bit more experience. I can remember back to high school. Oh my gosh, you know, I had this dark hair, loved having it blonde, went to the salon, you know, as a teenager and stuff, and she did so amazing. But there comes times where, you know, life happens, you can't afford it, you don't have time for it. I have 3 kids. So, you know, making time for it. Anyways, yeah, as a teenager, I remember my hair was so good and my roots started to kind of grow out a little bit. And I was like, all right, gotta go to the grocery store and buy like a little box kit of the highlight stuff. Mind you, I've done the box kits so many times before and I've had wonderful results. So this one time I get it, I'm over at my friend's house, you know, she helps me with it, just trying to get my roots right, and it turned out awful. Like I can't even explain like how awful it was. Like you see the pictures of, you know, Justin Timberlake from the 90s and early 2000s of just like that yellow Raymond noodle color hair. I'm like, yeah, maybe back then it was cool. That's not what I was going for. But once again, if I would have known, and there was like some toner that you could put on, and you know, I think it was definitely bright enough. It was to that level that I could have taken some toner and really just, you know, worked with it, and it would have been fine. So it's just a lot of not having a lot of knowledge on it, and like I said, didn't go to beauty school, so just stuff that you learn over the years, really. And you know, fingers crossed, we're sitting here praying that this is going to turn out okay. Worst case scenario, we're going to a comedy show Friday night. I'll just look like a fool. Let's hope not though. Let's really just hope not. Hopefully it looks good, because you know, when you look good, you feel good. And especially, like I said, we have 3 kids, so it's very seldom that we get to go out and do anything together. You know, so we're going to a comedy show. I just like to take a little bit of time for myself and feel good, you know. There's no harm in that, right? So I'm just making sure that I kind of lather it through. I definitely want to get these darker spots that are showing back here. And I don't even know what happened. Let me tell y'all this. So my dad has sandy blonde hair, you know, not dark at all. My mom has like jet black hair. Anyways, definitely took after my mom. My brother and sister have definitely lighter color hair. And, you know, I'm I'm like, oh, we don't really have to do anything with your hair to get it blonde because it's already blonde. Lucky you. And then my daughter, she has the prettiest, beautiful, I mean, just most beautiful blonde hair you've ever seen in your whole life. I mean, it is long and it's beautiful and it's that color that we all want. And I'm like, seriously? Like, but she hates it. She wants to cut her hair off. She wants to dye it, you know. So I know I'm in for a treat as soon as she gets a bit older. You know, I think just to spite me, probably, she's gonna cut it all off and she's gonna dye it black. You know, I guess that's how that works, right? She's a sweetheart. And I get it though. You kind of want what you don't have, you know. And for us brunettes and maybe even redheads, you know, really anybody, you know, you kind of want something else. If we have darker hair, we want it lighter. When we have lighter hair, we want it darker. So I get it. Definitely get it. So, and by the way, I did not get gloves. So you see me reaching over every once in a while and kind of rinsing this off my hands. It's not going to damage you too bad, but you can definitely notice some discoloration. You know, it's just you go to your laundry room and you get bleach on yourself and don't rinse it. Kind of the same thing. So I think we're doing pretty good so far. Kind of lather this in a little bit. We're going to start working our way to the back. So on the Quick Blue packet, it recommends check development at regular intervals, which is normally like every 10 minutes, until you achieve the desired degree of whiteness, up to 15 minutes for retouch or 40 minutes for virgin applications. Well, this is not virgin hair. I mean, it's been a long time, good few months since I've done anything with my hair. But I have a lot of damage, and it's not from what you think. Not from the dyeing it, not from hot, you know, none of that. It's from not having time. Not having time to do it, as dumb as that sounds. And what I'll do is I'm just so busy all the time, just constantly on the run. And I'll get out of the shower and I'll take it. I won't even brush it, my poor hair. Won't even brush it. And then I just throw it up in a bun. So I just wrap it up into like a million little things, throw it up, and of course I don't take it out until I'm going to sleep at night. And at that point, it's just, I mean, it's out to here. There's creases through it. You can see the damage of just constantly wrapping it every single day. And, you know, whenever I would straighten my hair before, I mean, I was just like a straightening fanatic. My hair is naturally straight. I don't know what I was doing, but just, you know, make it look a little bit better going to work and stuff. I would go through with a straightener and, you know, I was straightening my hair every single day, maybe even sometimes multiple times a day. Just insane. I never had this damage to my hair. It was not until you don't have time, and it's, you know, you're just, you know, don't take care of it. Shampoo doesn't really help, the conditioner, it's so damaging just to sit there and throw it off and, you know, not take the time to even brush it. But, you know, like I said, life happens, and sometimes you're just in a hurry and you got things to do, and, you know, when we actually do go out, you know, as a family, you have to think, like, as a mom's perspective, maybe as a dad, I don't know how that works, I'm not a dad, you know, you kind of focus on making sure the kids are ready. The kids look presentable, you know, you gotta get them dressed, get them ready, get their shoes on, make sure that they brush their teeth, make sure, you know, just the whole shebang. And then, of course, the guy, you know, the husband, the dad, just kind of sits there, you know, and not too much is going on with them, like no real help, you know. And so you're just kind of like running back and forth, make sure making sure everybody else is ready to go. And then the husband or the dad will be like, oh, I'm ready. Why isn't everybody else ready? Mom, why aren't you ready? Well, Mom is not ready because she had to get everybody else ready. So we're just gonna leave that there. Yeah, so a lot of the times we go out and everybody looks absolutely fantastic, like cute. Husband's all dressed to the T, and there's Mom. I look like I'm homeless. So I'm sure people are like, what in the world? Everybody else is, looking good. Maybe they understand. Maybe they get it. Maybe they're like, oh yeah, Mom had to get everybody else ready. She didn't have any time for herself. So shout out to moms, because I think we do it all. But shout out to dads too, because my husband is truly amazing. He really is, and just the best dad. I mean, he's so patient, he's so fun, and compared to me, I always say, it takes a lot to get a rise out of me. I'm pretty easygoing. I'm super nice. That's not what he says. He was like, you always say it takes you a long time to get from 0 to 100, and he's like, that's not true. He's like, you get mad and you yell and everything else. Right. Patience, I think. I think everybody could benefit from a little more patience. Alright, so as you can see, I think we have a bit of some color change already. We haven't, really had this on too long. I'm trying to make sure I get back here in the back where I can't see. With beautiful blonde locks. Sorry, Paige beauty. Not really. Just time. Time and money. Right? Just time and money. We may actually have enough from this one pouch to not use another, and that can totally benefit what I got going on here, because I'm gonna have to redo this, in a few months. Since my hair is so dark and it grows out so quick. Oh, missed a strand. Get that way in there. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to keep it off the ends as much as I can. Just because there is a bit more damage and breakage going down, like I said, from the elastics that I use. And I've actually started, I don't even know where it's at, started using a new elastic. It's more of a ribbon tie that's a bit better. I mean, I don't think it damages my hair as much as these super strong, stretchy elastics that just cut into your hair. But, until I can really just take some time and, maybe go in with like a hot oil treatment or a deep condition, I don't think my hair is going to improve too much. So I'm just going to make sure that I keep bleach off of it. I may bring it down just a little bit just to blend so it'll look a little bit better when we tone. So I think they do that when they do like an ombre or like a balayage. We can kind of bring it down. Alright, let's see what we're working with in the back. Guys, I mean, the smell isn't awful. It's not awful. I mean, it's a little bit strong, just a little bit though, but compared to some other things that I've used before, that it's like completely take your breath away, this isn't that bad. Burn my eyes a little bit, but the enclosure that doesn't help. Not helping. So far, and I haven't really timed this to see, you know, kind of the process of starting since, you know, once I put it on. I'm gonna take the jewelry off. Take that very long. I'll look at the time in just a sec and see kind of how long we've had this on for, so we can kind of keep an eye on the time, do the 10-minute intervals as it states on there. I'm going to take my hand and kind of bring this down a little bit. Get some of the dark bits back and blend it to the blonde. Make sure we have a nice even kind of coating on it so that it'll blend a little bit better. So let's hope. We're going to have to check the time. Let's hope. Kind of let this process for a little bit and get this off before my youngest gets home from school. He gets home a little bit earlier. I would hate to go out there and get him off the bus like this. I mean, he's only 3. I don't think he would truly mind that much, but I'm sure his response would be like, Mom, what are you doing and what's on your head? His bus driver will know though. She'll be like, oh, just trying to do her hair. She's a blonde, she gets it. And if she's not a natural blonde, she definitely gets it. So, you know, and I think in the past, whenever I've done kind of stuff like this, I've been afraid to leave it on. I'll see that it starts to change, and then I'm like, oh my god, like we gotta take this off, like I don't want it to be too bright or whatever. And I feel like once I do that, I take it off and I just didn't let it sit long enough. So it definitely has more of those golden brassy tones. So I think today, trying out the 30, which is a higher lift, like I said, so it shouldn't take as long as using a regular 20 or, you know, a 10. Isn't going to do anything. I wouldn't do anything with a 10. And I saw on here you could actually use a 40 developer. And I have a 40, but I'm not that ballsy. I'm trying to keep the hair that's on my head. So yeah, we're just going to stick to the 30. And I know the bottle was open, so I've used it before, and I don't remember the results of that, but you know, I've had black hair, like I've dyed it black, I've had bleach blonde, I've had red hair, I've had, you know, regular highlights with just some dark underneath, really just kind of a little bit of everything, and I have found that I just love blonde, and I don't mind, like I said, using the purple shampoo to make it a little bit of a lavender tone or even like a grayish. It doesn't bother me. I love it. It looks really good. And you'll see like little streaks of gray or little like kind of lilac, kind of purple. It looks really cool. You know, you see people out now and they have like the gray color, and you know, sometimes from behind you're like, oh, she's old. No, turn around, super young. You know, 20-something, 30-year-old, like beautiful hair, beautiful, but just that gray tone, I love it. It's so in right now, so in. And I even thought about maybe getting a semi-permanent from Sally's to do the gray. So worst case scenario, if the hair doesn't pull the way that it's supposed to, and the toner refuses to do anything, may just look like a fool for the next few hours and go into my daughter's softball practice. It's her first practice today, so having to be a really bad impression, going in there looking just awful. But worst case scenario, you can go back to Sally's, get some semi-permanent of a light gray, and you know, kind of go in that route. But I'm really hoping that this is gonna work. And so far, it actually looks pretty good. It seems to be pulling the hair, you know, pulling those blonde shades out. So I think this is gonna work, guys. So let's give this a few minutes to let this sit, and I will come back with some results, okay? All right, guys, so side note, very important side note. So, you know, I told you I forgot the gloves, okay? And I knew I've done this before, kind of forgot. Please get gloves. Please get gloves, especially with the bleach, because it really irritates your skin. And it doesn't happen at first. Your hands kind of feel a little bit smooth. After just a bit, I mean, my hands look just so, I mean, it hurts. It's like pins and needles. Pins and needles. Doesn't feel very good at all. So you sit there and like wash your hands with the soap and the water, and yeah, you know, so it takes a little bit of time for it to eventually just kind of wear off. But so just still going back through it. I ended up mixing the second pack because you know what kind of happens if you've ever done your hair before. You'll kind of focus on one area compared to the other, where you kind of focus on the front. That's what you can see. And I got a good bit of the back. It was, you know, it was decent. And I started on the back last, so it took, you know, it takes a little bit longer for that to start to change. But I was like, let me just go back in with it and make a little bit more, make sure I lather it, you know, really well, just to make sure that we have everything is even. And I know it specifically says on the packet, it says, "Dear baby Jesus, do not use with heat. Do not heat. Do not use heat." So, you know, you kind of think of like whenever you go to the salon and, you know, they put you underneath the dryer, kind of heat you up a little bit and everything. And maybe the reason they say do not heat is because some people are using the 30, some people are using the 40, and at that point it develops so much quicker. So I think adding the heat to it would definitely make the process go a little bit quicker, but there's probably a bit more damage to that. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to give this just another minute. And what I did, since I didn't have the glove and I was going back through, I actually took a bag and I was holding my hair just so I don't have to, you know, keep hurting my fingers. Because like I said, that did not feel good. Literally, it felt like somebody took like needles and poking it underneath my fingernails into my cuticles and all around. So it definitely did not feel pleasant at all. And I think it's so far. I mean, we've kind of had this on for a few minutes right now. It is 1:33. Let's see. So really, we started this process. It's been an hour. Hour for you know, brushing my hair good, putting the cap on, pulling everything through the cap, getting everything mixed up, getting it applied. We're looking at 1 hour, and I don't know if y'all can see this, but this is looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna be really ecstatic with the results, and just think, guys, if we really figured this out, I spent $38 at Sally's. $38, 10 of which was for the shimmer lights. Love the purple shampoo, so that's fine. But really, you know, spent a little bit more money today getting my brush and my bowl. And I've had all of these things before, but my youngest has got into all my stuff and taking my bowl, taking my brush, and just kind of like run around with it. And I'm like, whatever, you know, I don't do my hair at home anymore anyways, so what does it matter? Well, today, I didn't even think to look for anything because there's no telling where it's at. So just a few extra dollars getting the bowl and the brush, but you know, next time or whenever, you know, I go to retouch, it was $4.99 for the Quick Blue, so $10 for two. You know, I still have a bigger bottle of my 20 developer left. I wasn't sure how much I had in there. Like I said, I didn't bother looking, just kind of starting over new with some of the things I was getting. So I could go back into Sally's to retouch. $10 maybe, walk out of there less than $20, and that's big. You know, like I said, going to the salon, I was spending really, I mean, not to be over dramatic, this was a good $200. Good $200 just to come home, and like I said, within a week, having to, you know, go to Sally's and get some other toner to, you know, to tone it back, and, you know, it just doesn't ever last the way that we hope and we expect it to, and that happens, you know, but why are we gonna go and spend $200 getting this stuff done to have to come back a week later and do it ourselves? So, have we really figured out the formula and how long to leave it on for, what to mix, what to use? This could be like a $20 fix. And to me, that's amazing, you know. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna wait about 10 more minutes and I'm going to rinse. So when we come back, hopefully this will be completely finished. We'll get a good look at what it looks like while it's wet, kind of while it's dry, and then see if we need some toner. Like I said, you know, I could get away with not using the toner if this goes to the right level and just use the purple shampoo. So it's all going to depend, just a few more minutes, and I think this is going to work out. I think this is going to be good, so we'll see. Alright, so literally, you're not going to believe me, I have not looked at my hair. Just got out of the shower from washing it. Actually, I just bent my head over to the top. So did that, used regular shampoo and conditioner, and I left a towel right beside me so whenever I stood up, I could just like wrap it in the dough so I could see at the same time that you'll see. Alright, so actually it's not that bad. I mean, even color-wise, I mean, it does have a hint, you know, of the yellow in it, but it definitely lifted what it needed to, and I think that's what's most important. They always say, like, with the toner, you need to get it to the desired, I guess, kind of lift that you want, even if it is that yellow or brassy tone, because that's what the toner's for. The toner is going to cancel all of that out. So I'm impressed. And it doesn't seem to be a lot of damage. I didn't really feel anything too bad. So I know sometimes that if y'all have ever been to a salon and had your hair highlighted or bleached, you may notice that as they're combing your hair, they're brushing it as soon as they wash it, your hair just becomes like spaghetti. It's like elastic. And I think that's just from kind of stripping it down. So I cleaned out my hairbrush, you know, right before, just so I can kind of see, you know, if I have any hair falling out, or if it's just going to be the normal amount, you know, whenever I brush it. I know my husband's going to get on to me because he's like, the worst thing to do is brush your hair when it's wet. I don't know where he saw that. I think it was on a video a few years back. And so when I'm doing my hair, I'm doing our daughter's hair, he's like, you know that's the worst thing to do. You can't brush it while it's wet. Well, that's easier said than done, because sometimes, especially with my daughter's hair, she has the long hair, like it's down to her butt, and like I said, she wants to cut it, but she just doesn't realize what she's got yet. You know, a few more years and she'll be like, oh yeah, you know, I got the hair but once, and maybe she'll leave it alone. But with her hair, it's thick, it's long, so sometimes when it's wet, it is a little bit easier to brush and style, and you know, we've had times where it's been completely matted at the back, where I've had to like take conditioner while it's dry and just kind of put it in there just to kind of break that up a little bit. But yeah, so far this isn't too bad. I mean, the only thing that I see is I wish I could have got a little bit more in there with the cap. And that's kind of the difference between the cap and then having somebody go in with foils is, you know, they can get a little bit closer to the scalp, and you know, where you have that pretty just kind of layered look. But you know, honestly, like this isn't bad. And you know, if I didn't have a toner just based on this, I am almost certain that I could go in with a purple shampoo. Like I said, do it while it's dry. Do it while it's dry, go lather it in really good. Let it sit, you know, let it sit 15, 20, 30 minutes. Like I said, you may get those other purple or lilac tones, but it washes out. If you decided to do this, leave it in, get all the gold out, have the little bit of a gray, lilac, purplish tones. If you didn't use it again, within a week, those tones would be out, you know, and it would be back to a normal blonde. But yeah, I can almost guarantee based on the color, this even whenever I dry it, I could go in with a purple shampoo and just completely skip the toner. But I want as bright blonde as what I can get, so I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the toner. And like I said, this will be the first time that I've used the T18 from Wella. I used the T28 before, and it really worked. It's a little bit more of a natural blonde compared to the T18 that I have, and this is the lightest ash blonde. And you know, I would definitely recommend going on to Sally's website, going into the store. You know, they have the little hair pieces where you can kind of compare like what you want. And I know with the ash, it definitely cancels out some of those gold tones. So now I'm just gonna read it. I did this not too long ago, and I can't remember if I did it when my hair was wet or dry. So I'm gonna read this, and we're gonna go from there. And then, so this is the before. If I have to dry it before I do the toner, I'll definitely give y'all exactly what it looks like while it's dry. But if not, just so you can see, I'm going to go ahead and do the toner, and then we can kind of compare. So I'll see you in a bit. All right, so literally, you're not gonna believe me, I have not looked at my hair. Just got out of the shower from washing it. Actually, I just bent my head over to the top. So did that, used regular shampoo and conditioner, and I left a towel right beside me so whenever I stood up, I could just like wrap it in the towel so I could see at the same time that y'all see. Whew. All right, so actually it's not that bad. I mean, even color-wise, I mean, it does have a hint, you know, of the yellow in it, but it definitely lifted what it needed to, and I think that's what's most important. They always say, like with the toner, you need to get it to the desired, I guess, kind of lift that you want, even if it is that yellow or brassy tone, because that's what the toner's for. The toner is going to cancel all of that out. So I'm definitely unimpressed. And it doesn't seem to be a lot of damage. I didn't really feel anything too bad. So I know sometimes, and if y'all have ever been to a salon and had your hair highlighted or bleach, you may notice that as they're combing your hair, they're brushing it as soon as they wash it, your hair just becomes like spaghetti. It's like elastic. And I think that's just from kind of stripping it down. So I cleaned out my hairbrush, you know, right before, just so I can kind of see, you know, if I have any hair falling out, or if it's just going to be the normal amount, you know, whenever I brush it. I know my husband's gonna get on to me because he's like, the worst thing to do is brush your hair when it's wet. I don't know where he saw that. I think it was on a video a few years back. And so when I'm doing my hair, I'm doing our daughter's hair, he's like, you know that's the worst thing to do. You can't brush it while it's wet. Well, that's easier said than done, because sometimes, especially with my daughter's hair, she has the long hair, like it's down to her butt, and like I said, she wants to cut it, but she just doesn't realize what she's got yet. You know, a few more years and she'll be like, oh yeah, you know, I got the hair everybody wants, and maybe she'll leave it alone. But with her hair, it's thick, it's long, so sometimes when it's wet, it is a little bit easier to brush and style, and you know, we've had times where it's been completely matted at the back, where I've had to like take conditioner while it's dry and just kind of put it in there just to kind of break that up a little bit. But yeah, so far this isn't too bad. I mean, the only thing that I see is I wish I could have got a little bit more in there with the cap, and that's kind of the difference between the cap and then having somebody go in with foils is, you know, they can get a little bit closer to the scalp, and you know, where you have that pretty just kind of layered look, but you know, honestly, like this isn't bad. And you know, if I didn't have a toner just based on this, I am almost certain that I could go in with a purple shampoo. Like I said, do it while it's dry. Go lather it in really good. Let it sit, you know, let it sit 15, 20, 30 minutes. Like I said, you may get those other purple or lilac tones, but it washes out. If you decided to do this, leave it in, get all the gold out, have a little bit of a gray, lilac, purplish tones. If you didn't use it again, within a week, those tones would be out, you know, and it would be back to a normal blonde. But yeah, I can almost guarantee based on the color of this, even whenever I dry it, I could go in with a purple shampoo and just completely skip the toner. But I want as bright blonde as what I can get, so I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the toner. And like I said, this will be the first time that I've used the T18 from Wella. I used the T28 before, and it really worked. It's a little bit more of a natural blonde compared to the T18 that I have, and this is the lightest ash blonde. And you know, I would definitely recommend going on to Sally's website, going into the store. You know, they have the little hair pieces where you can kind of compare like what you want. And I know with the ash, it definitely cancels out some of those gold tones. So now I'm just gonna read. I did this not too long ago, and I can't remember if I did it when my hair was wet or dry. So I'm gonna read this, and we're gonna go from there. And then, so this is the before. If I have to dry it before I do the toner, I'll definitely give y'all exactly what it looks like while it's dry. But if not, just so you can see, I'm going to go ahead and do the toner, and then we can kind of compare. So we'll see in a bit. All right, so let me show y'all. What I did is I got the blow dryer, and you know, I didn't want to put any heat on it, so I just did like a warm setting with a cool setting. And you know, for the toner, it says to kind of towel dry. So I'm not going to dry it all the way. I'm going to leave a little bit of it, you know, just kind of damp. It's a little bit more damp underneath than what I thought just brushing it. But so you can see this is mostly dry on top. This isn't bad. It's not really that bad at all. Like I said, you know, you definitely go in with a purple shampoo and take a lot of this out. Take a lot of it out, and you know. Shampoo. It's not gonna anything. So I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to separate my hair into sections, and then get started with the toner. And then, you know, it says for the toner to mix 1 part of the toner with 2 parts of the 20 developer. So I'm going to do that, and then it says you can leave on up to 30 minutes, and I've seen some videos where they have left it on the whole time, and you know, and I do want that ultra blonde, and it's not gonna damage my hair. It's, you know, it's toner's just gonna even everything out. Even the dark that you see in here still, you know, it will maybe lighten that a little bit and just blend some of these harsh lines that I got from the cap. Just kind of make everything a little bit more even. So what I'm gonna do is section it out, put it on, and then kind of start to time and do the same thing that we did with the bleach. 10-minute intervals, kind of see how it goes, how it starts to change. Yeah, up to 30 minutes, and I'm thinking I may just do the full 30 minutes and just get as blonde as we can. And you know, I think the hardest part is doing the bleach and seeing like how it's going to come out. Is this going to be really yellow? Is it going to be really orange? Very brassy? And I can say like I'm really ecstatic because if this literally works the way that I want it to work, I mean, literally back to Sally's for 20 bucks. And then my husband's gonna be even happier that I'm not calling him to say, hey, I messed my hair up, I need to go to the salon. So then that would be $200 on top of the $38 I just spent. So I think all around, I'm gonna be really happy with this. So I will show y'all when I start mixing the toner and start putting it on, kind of go through that process, and then we'll do the end result, okay? Alright, so far I have the toner mixed up. Like I said, Wella T18 with 2 parts, the 20 developer. That means 1 bottle of the Wella, and then there's lines in the bowl that has 2. So, 2 parts of the developer. So it's, yeah, a little bit jelly. And I've seen in some videos, as you're going, it starts to turn. So I guess we're gonna wait and see if this is gonna turn purple or blue, or maybe it'll just stay like this. So we're gonna get started. All right, so for the toner, I'm starting on the underneath. Like I said, I've only done a toner once before, and it worked well. But I don't really remember exactly how I did it, and I'm not trying to mess anything up, if that makes sense. So, starting from the underneath and kind of going from there before we get to the front, and you know, it's as jelly as it looks. It's actually a bit more liquidy than what I thought it was going to be. So really a little bit goes a long way, really does. And I've seen sometimes when I've been to the salon, you know, they've had some kind of toner that they just use like in a bottle and just like kind of dripped it on your head. Maybe that's what this is. I just feel like there it was a little bit more liquidy, and maybe it's just easier to work with because, like I said, I semi don't know what I'm doing. Kind of do. Look, let's do it like this. If this turns out really good, we have good results and whatever, I'm going to take full credit for this and just say like, hey, I know what I'm doing, I got this. This turns out just awful, then I already gave y'all the disclaimer, I don't know what I'm doing. So, I mean, I feel like the toner can do nothing but just make it better. Nothing but make it better, so we're gonna go with that. We're putting it down a good bit ways. I know I read somewhere where it said not to apply it to the ends because it kind of maybe travels down on its own a little bit, which is fine. I am going to bring it down, but not all the way to the ends just yet. I'm going to get it applied a bit more. Just make sure that we get everywhere. And I'm doing it with a brush without gloves. Oh, I think I spilled a little bit of the toner on the counter. And I think I know what color this is going to be as it starts working, which means that I need to get it off of the counter before it gets... Oh, look at this! On the skin, it's going to be purple. I was going to keep it a surprise, but let's get this off the counter first. Oh, okay. Definitely not like hair dye. That totally wiped right up. Super happy. Not sure how my hands are going to take this. They'll start turning purple eventually, I'm thinking. Wish I had some gloves. That would make this just a little bit easier. But am because I have T-minus 15 minutes until my little one gets home from school. And, you know, he's so good. Just kidding. So he's going to be all over the place. I'm sure he would love to come in here and help make the video and see what's going on. But I would really prefer him not around this stuff. This does have kind of a harsh smell to it. Not terrible. I feel like this may actually be a little bit stronger of a smell than the bleach was, which surprises me a little bit. Background noise going, especially as I'm sitting here talking on the video. Y'all have to let me know how I did on the video and talking and the whole shebang. We have a YouTube channel, it's called Kids in Colors, and we do a few like little videos as far as a few little funny educational things that hasn't really taken notice, and that's alright, but it's something to do, and our youngest enjoys it, so it's kind of been doing that. Alright, so I am going to leave. Let's go a little further. How did I come up here, right? Oh yeah. Hair on my left hand side, left side of my head. I just have the weirdest part. I don't know if I did that as a kid, just trying to be cool, like, oh, I'm gonna have the hair going this way and swooping and whatever. Not a clue. It's a bit annoying now, and I try to part it in the middle. I've tried parting it in the middle, and it's so funny because my hair's so used to being on one side. Whenever I try to part it in the middle, like the whole side is just like poking up, and it just doesn't work. It's just not a natural part in the middle, so I just deal with it at this point. And I always feel like whenever I get my hair done, I'll look in the mirror because sometimes they'll part it in the middle just to make sure everything's even. And I try to tell them like, hey, like, color it or highlight it the way that my part is, just because, whenever you get done styling it and, everything else, I'm just gonna take and I'm gonna put it back in its normal position. Well, sometimes whenever you do that, you notice there's a lot more hair underneath, that's almost kind of not done compared to it just being part right in the middle. You get what I'm saying? So, like, at that point I just get mad because everything else will be one color, like say my whole hair, like whole head will be blonde, and then I've got this spot over here where it's had to go this way because that's my normal part, and yeah, it's not. Oh, that didn't go well. Just got it all over my arm. very messy. I feel like it's the user, not the product. Go back in with my fingers and kind of bring everything down, get to the ends and stuff, make sure we get everything blended. Yeah, definitely there's like a window or something. Y'all have a window? Definitely not that window. Like, I just don't get how this is stronger than was. And you know what I was gonna say? There was very minimal, from what I saw with my hair, very minimal damage with the bleach. And I have personally never used that, you know, like bleach on my hair. It's always just been, which technically it may be considered bleach, but I've never actually used anything other than like a highlighting kit that you get from like Walmart or Kroger or something. So maybe it is bleach that's in those kits, but just buying it from Sally's the way that I did, I was expecting maybe a little bit more damage, and then of course you go in with like some kind of treatment, kind of get it back to where it needs to be, but so far, that should be. And make sure I go back in and get these roots really good. Like I said, it's pretty, as jelly as it looks. It's pretty liquidy, so you can kind of really do a lot with this as far as going back in and making sure you kind of get it everywhere. Super excited. You can see that it's starting to turn a little bit of that light purple color. And as you let it sit, I know it's just going to get darker and darker. And see now that what time it is, I am going to get my son off the bus, possibly with some purple hair. Of time by myself. I'm gonna have a hair day before we go out to the comedy club and see. We're gonna go see Theo Vaughn. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Theo Vaughn. Super funny. He's on a podcast with Brendan Shaw, who was actually a UFC fighter. And he kind of branched off, and he's doing the stand-up, has a few podcasts. They do like the King and the Sting. And I'm not really into that whole sort of thing. But my husband is. So it's kind of, you know, at first you don't really think about it. You're like, I'm not really interested. You start watching it, and it's a bit funnier than what you expect. You know, and just some of the things you're like, you know, why are people like so into these shows and whatever? And I technically, I guess I prefer like reality TV. So there's a few little dumb shows, and my husband makes fun of me for. He's like, you don't need to watch this. You know, definitely make sure you have the TV off when the kid, you know, this can't be on whenever the kids are here and whatever. But, you know, there he is watching Comedy Central with Rick and Morty and stuff. And I know he loves it. I've tried. I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's each their own, you know, so. This probably for the full actually kind of scary because if you look at it a little bit closer, it starts getting kind of dark. And not necessarily that purple color, just more of like a dark, it looks like a brown, and you're like, oh God, like did I just do all this work of bleaching it for it to turn brown? Like, did I get the right bottle? Does that suck? At that point, I'd take everything back and be like, this is not right. But I was smart enough. I looked at the bottle after I opened it, made sure that it matched the front of the box. Yeah, because that would be really shitty. Make sure I'm getting the little baby hairs. So we're gonna see how this covers everything and make sure that it blends and stuff. You know what, and I've said for a long time now, I have found 2 gray hairs in my head. 2. And this is just recent. And I'm not that old. In my 20s. I'm not gonna say which side of the 20s I'm at, but I'm like, seriously, gray hairs? Like now? And I think 3 kids, like, yeah, of course I have gray hair. So yeah, I've been saying it for a long time now. Kind of can't wait till it starts turning all gray because I feel like it'd be a little bit easier to highlight. Maybe at that point, you know, all that dark would be out of it, and I wouldn't have to worry about highlighting it anymore. Shoot, I can't wait though. Get older. Take the purple shampoo. I'm gonna have all white gray hair. Take the purple shampoo and go in and just walk around with some purple hair. I saw somebody not too long ago. It was an older lady, and this is before I really found out about the purple shampoo. Because, like I said, growing up, I would see like my grandmother with it. And I'm like, what the heck is that? It kind of smells funny. It's purple. Like, what is this? Like, what are we doing? So it wasn't until recently, like I said, that I found out about the purple shampoo. And I don't know, like, yeah, I saw an older lady and I was like, oh yeah, like, I know, she did that. You know, and it's just crazy to think something so minimally priced, you know, for the purple shampoo, you know, can kind of give you that color if you leave it in, or, you know, you use it multiple times a week, you know, it's just really cool to think. All right, so my hands aren't too purple yet. I don't feel anything burning. Thumb's a little bit purple, but I'm gonna go in and just kind of make sure I lather everything. And unfortunately, I have like little purple spots all over my counter. So definitely lay something down and kind of minimize the mess a little bit. Of course, you need to look, like, use your eyes, get somebody to help you. You kind of feel where it's really good and lathered and where it's not. Make sure I get my little baby hairs. But yeah, it was literally one day this past week that I was looking in the mirror and I'm like, dang, like, I haven't had my hair done in a good few months. And I'm like, how is that hair so light at my root? Yeah, it was a gray hair. How did that even happen? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, wash all this off of my hands, set the timer and see, and then I'm going to leave it on. I'm going to do the full 30 minutes. At this point, I'll probably time it about 20 minutes out since we've already, you know, got started and everything's done now. So No, this way. This way, this way, this way. All right, don't touch. All right, don't touch, don't touch. Look, can you see yourself? Can you say hi? All right, so we are midway through the toning process. As you can see, it is this purple color. Really hoping got it all. Can you say hi? Hi. Is mommy doing our hair? I had to get him off the bus like this. I apologize to his bus driver, and I was like, sorry. In the process of, you know, coloring my hair, getting it back to the blonde that I want. It was like joys of being a brunette one in blonde hair, right? Oh, she just, right? I don't know. You have a light white hair color, and you're a boy. You can, no, wait, don't touch it. Look, you want to say hey? It's the wrong way. All right, so I'm gonna leave this just a few more minutes. Stop. And then I'm gonna wash it and we're gonna see what color we're left with. Stop. Quiet, jeez. All right, so please. Oh, goodness. Stop. All right, so just got done getting the toner off of it. This is how it looks. Hi. Please stop. Alright, so definitely, I don't know. I mean, there's definitely some of those very light purple tones in it. Like I said, I knew it was going to happen using the toner that has the purple in it. You know, and I did rinse it with the purple shampoo. So like I said, I knew that was gonna happen. But once I blow dry it and get the final result, I will show you. So far, even with the toner, I think it looks really good. I hope we had some better lighting in here, but I think this did pretty good. So we will be back for the final results. Okay, so I'm going to finish this video now. I'm sure it's been kind of a roller coaster watching all this. I'm gonna go back and edit everything, kind of shorten it up. But this is the end result of the whole process. So. So I did the T18 Wella Toner, left it on for pretty much the whole time, 25 to 30 minutes. And then whenever I washed it out, I used my purple shampoo, the Shimmer Lights. Didn't leave it on there the normal 3 to 5 minutes. I literally just kind of did the shampoo and rinse. And I'm super happy. Like, honestly, super happy. Like, look at my roots. I'm gonna have to put it like before and after in there. It definitely, the toner evened out some of these harsher lines from the cap, which, you know, with the cap on like that, these are little fine little baby hairs. Little fine, so it was literally about like this much that was pulled through right there. But I'm overall happy with everything. My hair doesn't feel too bad. So in the process of getting it dry, I did end up blow drying it, and I put it on the light heat this time just so it would dry a little bit quicker. Probably was not the best thing to do because after, definitely felt like it was strong. Like I could not even get the hairbrush through my hair. Which, like I said, I had a lot of damage from wearing it up anyway, so it was a little rough. But, you know, I turned my straightener on, let's add a little bit more damage to it, straighten everything out, you know, kind of compress the damage. I'm super duper happy. So, I will make sure that I post all the things that I use down in the description. But yeah, this is possible. It's possible, guys. $38 bleach, highlights, toner, purple shampoo, $38 compared to going to the salon and spending $200. So if you have any questions, definitely let me know. I'm definitely willing to help. And like I said, you know, I'm not a professional, but I may start claiming it now. So good luck, guys.